This is horseweed, and this whole field is horseweed. The essential oil of this plant has been used to flavor candy and Dr. Pepper. It also has a whole host of different medicinal uses. I want to warn you though, this plant has some risks. So you don't want to take this plant if you are already allergic to the Asteraceae family, like daisies, chrysanthemums, other plants in the Asteraceae family. It can also increase your clotting time. So you want to be careful when taking this if you already take blood thinners. And you want to make sure that you stop taking horseweed about 2 weeks before a surgery. And it's reported that if you have contact dermatitis and you use horseweed can actually make contact dermatitis worse. So you want to avoid that as well. If your periods are longer than normal, shorter than normal, or you have a heavy flow or a particularly light flow, then horseweed may be a natural remedy that can help treat that. This right here is horseweed. It grows all over the United States and Canada, and now all over the world. Here's what it looks like when it's flowering. The extract of the horseweed plant has been used historically in making candies, soda pop. Actually, this is what's been used to flavor Dr. Pepper, as well as many other things. It was used by the Native Americans. It's used by Africans for various things. The roots of the horseweed plant were used by the Native Americans to treat menstrual irregularities. 1 teaspoon of dried powdered root in hot water and let it steep for 30 minutes. Then strain it out and drink a cup of that 1 to 2 times per day. And you can check out my other videos on how to better understand how to identify horseweed and where it grows, which is pretty much everywhere. Very spicy. I've heard of this plant being spicy. It's like hot, real hot. This is horseweed. This whole field is horseweed. The extract from this plant has been used to flavor candy and Dr. Pepper and has a variety of medicinal uses. And it's got a rich history with Native Americans and Africans. If you want to learn more about horseweed, check out some of my other videos. Let's try it. Very aromatic. Very spicy. Very spicy. I've heard of this plant being spicy. It's like hot. Real hot. I've heard of it being fermented, lacto-fermented in salt brine. It burns going down the throat too. I've heard of it, people saying it's better used as a seasoning than a vegetable, because some people saute it up and use it as a side dish. I'd say that's probably right. It's very strong. Very strong. It's been used to it's used to flavor Dr. Pepper. I definitely get that spiciness out of it. And the leaves definitely smell like Dr. Pepper when you crush them and smell them. They've got kind of a spicy sweetness to them. The spiciness kind of is more mild now. Kind of got like a sort of like a spinach taste now, I suppose. It's really cooled down and it's less intense. At first, that was kind of a roller coaster ride. Eating this, it's very strong at first. This is horseweed, and this whole field is horseweed. The way that you identify it is by looking at these leaves here. The leaves are long, narrow, and they are quite hairy on the bottom and the sides. Horseweed is also in the Asteraceae family. So when you look at its little flowers, it looks kind of like little daisies or little dandelions, little tiny dandelion seed heads. It grows profusely and it's very drought tolerant. It grows really tall in drought-like conditions especially. And here, as you can see, the seed head right here, which is full of a bunch of seeds right now. The dry leaves of the horseweed plant have been used just like tarragon and have a spicy flavor. It's like hot, real hot. And are beloved as a seasoning. You can also lacto-ferment them and use them in all sorts of different applications. The essential oil of the entire plant is also used to flavor candy, as well as other things like Dr. Pepper. This taproot right here, that's largely branched, has been used by the Native Americans to treat menstrual irregularities like heavy flow, light flow, or late or early periods.